This is the liberated living signature move. Hello, family. Are you ready? Are you ready for this live today? Who is going to join me here? I just put this out yesterday, so we'll see who's on today for this live. We are going to be talking about setting 2021 intentions and the art of manifesting like a mother trucker. If you want to manifest like a mother trucker, this call is for you. Okay, so this call today is I'm going to be taking you through the live that I did with my group. And this is supposed to set us up for the new year to start to set some intentions, set some goals of where we want to go. And I'm going to discuss with you, first of all, why for some, having goals can be the fastest way to suffering if you do not understand the art of manifesting and the law of attraction. So many people do not understand the law of attraction. They think that positivity and gratitude is going to get them to where they want to go. And positivity and gratitude in the beginning is going to be the exact thing that will block you from moving towards your goals. And I'm going to explain this to you in this live today. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to get on the call. I'm going to go through what I'm going to share with you today on this live. I'm just so excited for everyone to be here. I'm going to be taking questions and answers for anybody that is really wanting to dive deep into their own muck. Okay? So if anyone's on the call, we're going to get a pen and paper, and we're going to start to be working through some of your blocks to manifesting. Okay? And I'm also going to be tuning into anyone's energy who's on the call and wants me to tell them what's going on with them and where they might need to go. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to talk about is we're going to start to celebrate. So we're going to talk about celebrating your successes from the last year, which is really important. That's going to be one thing. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to start to write down and set all of our intentions and our goals. And I'm going to speak to how you set an intention. That is, what is the process of setting an intention that is going to help you with manifestation, okay? Then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about goals and understanding law of attraction, art of manifesting, and making your goals not only about the external. Hi, baby. I'm my biggest block. You're so cute. It's just me and you right now, girl. Let's do this. It's so funny with you, Joanne, because I feel like the universe is just nailing you to like slow down, or it's just like I feel like it's just pummeling you to go into all your stuff. And this is the biggest thing with so many people when it comes to goals. We set this goal and the universe is just going to it gives you exactly the opposite of your goal. Usually it's like you want easy and it will give you hard. You want abundance and it will give you bills, and this is how it works. I'm going to explain this process to you. The same thing when it's like, oh, you want weight loss and it gives you 5 pounds more, or it gives you a broken ankle and you can't exercise. This is how the universe works. The same thing with me for years. I used to want to attract a partner and I would attract selfish, narcissistic men that would ghost me perpetually for a lifetime. Like the amount of men that ghosted me in my lifetime is uncanny. And by the I think by the 50th time or millionth time it happened, I was like, God, keep them coming because I'm not going to abandon myself. So anyhow, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about with goals. After we set these goals, we're going to set goals that are external goals and goals that are internal goals, which by that I mean more self-worth, becoming the soulmate to yourself, things that are actually the most important versus the external goals. And lastly, we're going to look at what must die in order for the new to be born. What must die in your life in order for the new to be born. Okay? So let's start. So first of all, for anybody that's on the call, welcome, welcome, welcome. I love you guys. My name's Susan. I'm the owner of Liberated Living and the Breakdown to Breakthrough program. And I have a whole team of coaches supporting this group, as well as the people in my program. So it's awesome. All of my coaches are the top of the top. They have been through many, many hurdles, and a lot of them are quite older than me and are wise beyond their years and have done the deep, deep work. We're not just talking talk therapy. We're talking, even though you can, with the right coach, with talk therapy can be very effective, but these are coaches that have done the deep work themselves. So I'm just checking comments here. So just means I'm on the right path when I get challenged. Yes. Yeah, Joanne. It's like, this is the thing. It's just, that's people think when they get knocked down that they're on the wrong path. Okay, so let's go into this. First of all, what I want to do is for anyone on the call, I want you guys to write down, first of all your successes from the last year. So many times when it comes to manifesting, and just even growing and growth, we when it goes day to day, we can be so hard on ourselves because we don't always see our success day to day, especially if we're anxious or depressed or lonely. It just feels like those feelings cloud all of our feelings, and it's like, oh, I'm nothing. I haven't got anywhere. I'm never gonna figure it out. I'm never gonna get it straight. I should know better. I should be further ahead, nonstop. So it's so important and first of all, I do not believe positivity works when you're sad, by the way. I think positivity is the worst thing for when you're sad. Okay, I just want to preface that. But just for this exercise, what we're going to do is, I really find after I've shifted those emotions, that anxiety and the depression, after they've cleared my body and I've cried like a baby, I always say to myself, where am I at today versus a year ago? Versus 5 years ago, and how far have I come? Because it's so important sometimes, like day to day, we don't always see how far we've come, but if we look back to 1 year ago, that's what I want you to, that's the very first step, is to look at where you've been. So I want you guys to all take a few minutes, or even just pop it in the chat for anyone on the call. Tell me, what is one or a few or five or however many you guys brag. You deserve to brag, especially people that have childhood trauma. They need to be the biggest braggers of them all. What we have to celebrate. We have to take a minute to celebrate our successes, because half the time we achieve something and then our mind just keeps chasing the carrot and just goes to the next thing. It's like I always remember once I made 5,000, then I wanted 10,000, then it was insane. It was never content with what I had. So what would you guys say over the last year? What's one thing you've done that you're so proud of, that really took you a bit to overcome, and you want to celebrate, what would one thing be? So pop it in the chat. If anyone's on the call, share. Vulnerability is healing. So feel free to share anything that you've gone through. I know for me this year was a huge growth year. In numerology, if anyone believes in that, this year for me was an 8-year. An 8-year always has to do with balance. So if I had like a really rough, everything was hard before, this year was easier, or at least more in manifestation mode. So an 8-year, if you even see the numbers 888, has to do more with abundance, financial, it's like, it's also the infinite circle, this kind of thing. It's all about appreciating what you have in the moment. And when you get that, then the abundance starts to come into your life. So that's what it was for me. So for me, I grew my business my business tripled this year in revenue. That was a huge success for me. And also, it wasn't just the revenue. More importantly, it was the family. I created this family of people, Joanne, Denise, all these people on my team, all these clients that really I just never thought I could have so much love in my life as before. So what are you celebrating? Okay, next, let's go on to what your 2021 goals are. So what I say is every single year, and even weekly, or monthly, I always tend to write down my intentions and goals. Because once you write it down and once you speak it into existence, the universe is going to start bringing up every single fear, limiting belief, block that is stopping you. That is stopping you from moving toward that goal. So this is what happens, okay? Just so you understand it. When you set this goal, it's not going to just manifest like that. It is going to get hard. It's going to get the exact opposite. That's why this program, I call it Breakdown to Breakthrough, because you set this goal and it's going to be like, oh my God, you're going to get anxiety. So for example, if you have weight gain, I get a lot of clients trying to lose weight and they do every single thing dietary wise. They eat the right thing. They work out, months go by and they step on the scale and nada. They haven't lost a thing. And they've spent money, time, effort, and they just freak out. They get super frustrated. And all those feelings come up. Feelings of, no matter what I do, nothing works. Feelings of insecurity. Feelings of feeling unattractive. Feelings of being not enough. These feelings that come up, these are the doorway to opportunity. These are the doorway to change. The problem with most people is they ignore the messenger. They ignore the messenger, meaning they just keep going on with their head. They just keep pushing through. The universe is like saying, I'm trying to make this easier on you, but you keep ignoring the signs. You keep ignoring the messages I'm sending you. And most people's messages that they get sent are in their body, in your emotional landscape. Those are your messages. Where like today I have this feeling right here in my belly, and it's like, I know I have to go in, because if I ignore that, no matter what I do, nothing in my life will come. Because manifestation is about energetic alignment. It's not about doing. It's not about action as much as you think. It's more so, action is like 10-15% of the equation. 85% is inner energetic alignment. Aligning with yourself, finding balance in yourself, finding connection, coming home to who you truly are, being there for yourself, tuning into your feelings, tuning into your needs, giving yourself those needs in the moment, not in the future, in the moment. This is the most important thing, connecting to God, feeling a connection and trust with universe. This is more important than the actual goal itself. And when we start to do this, for example, so if you have a person that's trying to lose weight, for example, we'll do a couple of different examples in this live. If you have a person that's trying to lose weight, they start getting frustrated, they start to feel like they're not enough. Well, instead of doing another diet, doing another program, which is what people do, they just go back to back, the keto diet, the this diet, the answer is not the diet. Maybe a little bit. But it's really about going in and going back to that, tuning in. How am I feeling? Oh, I'm frustrated. When I feel like I'm not enough, I'm not attractive. When as a kid did you feel like you weren't attractive? Okay. What did that younger you need that felt unattractive, that felt not enough, that felt like she had to try to change herself? What did she need to hear? What did she need to say? Usually it doesn't sound like, sweetheart, like you gotta lose weight. It's not gonna sound like, sweetheart, like, fuck, you're so fat. If we usually tune into that younger you that felt unattractive, it will usually sound something like this. Sweetheart, fuck, that was awful. I can't believe they were so critical. Poor you. Just acknowledgement, like, oh my God, I am so sorry your grandmother constantly commented on your weight all the time. I get these stories all the time in my practice. I'm so sorry you got bullied by kids at school, and made fun of, and never felt like you belonged. Usually that little girl doesn't need to hear, you need to change yourself. If anything, it would be like, don't change a thing, sweetheart. They don't deserve you. They don't deserve you. You're beautiful as you are. So, do you see there how with goals, there's often a disconnect? Because here's your mind saying, I have to lose weight. It's basically saying, I have to lose weight to become more acceptable. And then your inner child is saying, I don't want to change myself to become more acceptable. I just want to be more acceptable. This is why there's a disconnect. This is why people get anxiety. This is why people get depression. Because their head is telling them one thing, especially with goals, and their heart and soul is wanting another thing. That's why it never happens. That's why the goal never manifests, because deep inside there's a sense of lack. Lack does not produce health and wellness and a good, strong metabolic rate in the body. It just doesn't. So, and even if you got what you wanted, the weight coming off, you still wouldn't be happy, because that little you would be so terrified of gaining it back. There'd be no freedom. There's no love, because even if you lost the weight, you're telling yourself, I'm only lovable if I'm skinny. And this is where people do not understand the law of attraction and they don't understand how to be happy. Okay? So when we're creating these goals, I hope that makes sense to everybody. So when we're creating these goals, we think our happiness is in the goal. We think that's where we're going to get happy once we find a partner, that's a fucking joke. Okay? Because what comes up when it doesn't happen, if it's here's where you are and here's where you are down here and here's where you want to be, and every single day it's dissonance, there's a dissonance. You need to come back to yourself and give yourself what you need in the moment. So for example, when we're setting these goals, okay? Well, let's take a minute. Everybody on the chat now, I want you guys to write down what your 2021 intentions will be. And this is how I write them. When I'm writing an intention, I want it to be measurable and I want it to be specific. So if you say want to manifest a partner, you'd say like in 6 months from now, that's okay, Joes. In 6 months from now, you could say, I want to manifest the man of my dreams. Oh, actually, that's not a good way to put it. I want to manifest and be specific, an empowered, generous, considerate, emotionally available partner. And if you want, you could even put 3 pages of stuff about it. But you could write this down for your goal. I want to manifest this. And then by this time, by 6 months, by whatever, it has to be specific. And then what you want to do is you want to write down how you want that goal to make you feel. What's the feeling that you want? People focus on the goal. The more important thing when it comes to goals is the feeling. Because here's the thing. The most important time is now. Always. The most important time in the world is always going to be now. So when you have a goal, it creates misery in a sense because you're saying, I want this to be happy. I want this to be okay. But you're not there right now. So it's usually going to make you unhappy because you're not there. You're putting your happiness in something external. That's the first problem. So when you get clear on how it's going to make you feel, okay, how it's going to make you feel, that's the most important because then you got to ask yourself, how can I feel that way now? Okay, and I'm going to give you some examples of this. But first, what I want you guys to do is just pop a comment in the chat for anybody on the call. Put it out there. And I'm taking questions today. If you guys have questions, I'm tuning into people's energy. I have a bit of, people call it medical intuition or psychic sense. So, hi, Esther. Oh my gosh, I love you. Happy New Year. Esther, we're doing a similar call to what we did on the group call the other day. But I have covered a little different material. So I'm so happy you're on the call. It's so good. So we're writing down right now, for anyone that just jumped on, we're writing down what's your intention and how do you want to make it feel. So pop your comments in the chat. What is your 2021 intention and how do you want it to make you feel? And I think it's super important when you're thinking about, what's my 2021 intention? I would ask yourself, who's the person you want to become? Or it could be even different. What parts of yourself do you want to accept? What do you want to manifest? What do you want to bring more of into this new year? Anybody? So anyone have any shares of what they want to? So I'm going to give you an example. So I'll wait for people to share. So for example, okay, so say I've had a lot of clients attracting narcissistic partners. Everyone in the group coming in right now seems to have issues with narcissistic partners. This is the new thing right now for people coming in. So say for your 2021 goal, you would want to attract a partner who is more giving, more generous, more considerate, maybe reliable, maybe responsible. And actually, one of the biggest ones for people is, say, emotionally available. This seems to be a big one for most women. Now, what you want to do is you want to write down how that would make you feel. If you had a partner like that, how that would make you feel. Okay, so say if you had a partner, if you met a partner, you might feel supported. So you're going to write that down. I would feel supported. Maybe you would write down, I would feel seen. Okay? Some people say they would feel they come home to themselves, right? Or some people would say, I would feel I want more adventure, whatever it is. Okay. So write that down. So 2021 goals, feelings. And whenever I'm manifesting, it's really important even to say after you set this goal, say it for a week after, say it. So even when I was say with the guy thing, narcissistic, I would say emotionally available partners, easy. Or I would say a line I deserve, thank you for bringing me emotionally available men into my life, easy. Or possible, because everyone says it's not possible, these men don't exist. Well, that's a joke. There's tons of men. I have so many emotionally available men in my life. Okay, so that's what you want to say. You want to have something, or I used to say with my money, $100,000 easy, every day. $100,000 easy, fun, right? So I would tie these words to this that would create this feeling that I want. Because as I've said many times before, you always want to assume the state of the wish fulfilled. Okay, so what I mean by that is, so once you write down your goals and intentions, okay, it's very important to start to create that feeling in your life now. Okay, so for example, say you have Joanne, I'm gonna read yours in one sec. So say you have a partner, say you want a partner because you want to feel seen, you want to feel cared for, you want to feel supported, all these things. Your goal is to create that right now, because that is the need that you have right now. Okay, you don't have it tomorrow. If you're waiting for tomorrow to get that need met, you're going to be really disappointed, because your little girl in your body wants self-care now, wants being cared for now, wants support now. Okay, just so you get this. But our mind goes, oh, this is only available with a partner. This is only available with a partner. This is only available, blah, 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 blah. So what you want to do is, here's what usually happens, okay? So you put this dream out. Your goal is, I want to manifest a partner. So you start dating. And then all of a sudden, you attract these mother truckers, okay? That treat you like shit. And all those feelings come up about being uncared for, about being unsupported, about all this stuff. This is your action steps, okay? So we're moving into action steps here. So what you're gonna do is you want to give yourself what you're looking for, okay? So when you feel sad and you feel uncared for, if you busy yourself and keep dating, or busy yourself and ignore your emotions, then you are doing to yourself what men do to you. Okay? You are abandoning yourself. you are ignoring yourself. You are not caring for yourself. You are putting other people's needs ahead of your own, just like those men did. So in order to attract what you want, is you have to be it in order to attract it. So if you want support, you got to support yourself. And supporting yourself doesn't always, supporting yourself can look like, caring for yourself or supporting yourself can look like a lot of, have a lot of different ways that can happen. But first of all, if you're emotional, it's about going into those emotions and actually allowing yourself to cry, allowing yourself to grieve, nurturing that space like, sweetheart, do you have to work today? Maybe not. Do you need to give to somebody else today when you feel like being given to? Like who here in the group does that when they're like, they're wanting love, but they keep giving to other people instead of, or they just pretend they're okay and they keep supporting others when they really want support themselves. So the universe says, oh, so you're okay with sacrificing yourself? Great. Well, then I'll keep sending you the same thing. People that disrespect and sacrifice, like, don't respect you just like you don't respect yourself. So it's like the universe and is just aligning with how you are. It's like you are the creator of your universe, right? Yeah, Esther says all the time. I know. It's really challenging because we've never practiced spiritual alignment, is we don't trust it. We don't trust that if we just give to ourselves all the time, that one, we're even worthy of it, and two, that it's going to come, we're going to be rewarded for it. Usually, especially if you were never rewarded for it as a child, okay? It's like, oh, I can be totally selfish and greedy and the universe is going to give to me. Just like you never could as a kid. You just get scolded for being selfish all the time. Everything goes back to your childhood. Even these behaviors that we have aren't our fault. They've just been conditioned for so long, okay? And I'm the same way with my business. I realize I have this goal. It's like, I want money to have easy. I want money to have easy. And I do the same thing is sometimes I keep working. Like today, I'm doing this call and I actually think I shouldn't be doing it, but I don't know. Is I have this pain in my stomach and I'm like, I know I have to take care of that. I know I have to take care of that at some point today because otherwise I'm going to be sacrificing myself for money, for whatever. And then the clients never come because I am putting myself second, okay? So if you want a partner, like we'll just talk about this example for now. If you want a partner, whatever you want from a partner is you have to start giving that to yourself. Respect, support. Like it's like saying to your little girl, I got your back. I'm not going to abandon you anymore. I'm not going to put you second. And support, and even if it's intimacy, for example, if you're starving yourself waiting for this perfect man to show up in your life, you might need intimacy now. So you might have to figure out how am I going to go get intimacy now and affection and physical affection. It doesn't always have to be from a guy. It could be just physical touch from a friend or this kind of thing where you start to feel full. Because especially when it comes to relationships and attracting partners, when you feel in that lack state, you are not going to attract that partner because you're needy. You're more, not to say that needy is bad, but it's more of a desperate or lacking energy. But when you are feeling lit up, you are feeling full, you're receiving, you're getting affection from people, you're going to be more playful, you're going to be more fun, you're going to be more even able to give to that person. So important. Okay, where can you support yourself? Where can you respect yourself? Okay, where can you bring more fun, if you're looking for a partnership for fun, where you can bring more fun into your life without a partner, with friends, with all these things. How can you fill that need in the moment? Okay? So what I want you guys to write down is 3 action steps. And these action steps are going to involve 1% changes you could do every single day to move you closer to that goal. So for example, one of the action steps could be and for anybody too that's wanting help with this, jump on a call with me. This is what I do, okay? But first action step, you might put something about, okay, where can you support yourself? Like whatever the feeling of the goal you want to create. So I want to be more supported. I want to feel seen. I want to, I want to feel happier, okay? Whatever it is. And I'm going to comment on something in a minute. You want to write that down. Where am I going to support myself? I'll give you an example. An action step for me this year with supporting myself is I'm only going to work 4 or 5 hours a day. That's my new goal. So every single day I book off 3 hours in my schedule and I don't work that time. And okay, another action step, say if you're trying to find a partner, maybe I need to put myself out there. Maybe I need to go on some dating sites. Maybe I need to ask my friends if there's any guys that might be suitable for me. You know, maybe it's doing Reiki and inner child work, okay? What are you going to do differently than you've been doing before? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result, okay? So let's do that. So, okay, so you got your action steps. So you've set your goals. What did Joanne say? I will manifest a new job career that's going to allow me to make, okay, this is Joanne's goal. I will manifest a new job career that's going to allow me to make several thousands of dollars a month, make me feel great if it was a less physical job because I deserve to be nice to my body. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to just go through this goal with you, Joanne, see if you're still on the call. So Joanne, how do you want that job to make you feel? So I want you to pop a comment in the chat if you're still on the call. How do you want that job to make you feel? And while I'm waiting for you, I'm going to answer a little bit for you because I think I know partly part of it already. So I think a big one for you is feeling supported, right? Satisfied. So satisfied. Be more clear with that than that one. Satisfied. What else? Is satisfied feeling content? Or what is satisfied? Satisfied is kind of vague. You want to have very clear feelings that you want to focus on. So I know with you, feeling supported is big. I'm just going to keep pushing that one. Feeling supported, almost feeling valued. Tell me if you agree with that one. For example, for the type of work you do, you're receiving, okay? Like you're actually getting paid well for the work you do. Your work is valued. Yeah, I think that's a big one for you because you have such a good work ethic and drive. You are so there for people. That's a quality you don't see in yourself all the time, that most people that work for people, they're just not as dedicated as you. They just don't do as good as a job as you. That's the truth. Sometimes we don't see this in ourselves, and it's like this is where we keep our prices low, but we don't always charge more. We don't always charge what we're worth, okay? So feeling worthy of abundance, feeling valued, feeling supported. Okay. So, yeah, I love you too. So here's what I would do for you. And I think you want easy too, right? So easy, supported, valued. So my question to you, when I think about the universe nailing you with one thing after another, okay. I would say the first thing is making sure, like when you're getting these feelings, are you busying? Are you continuing to busy, or are you going into the feelings too? Are you supporting yourself? That's the question. Okay, so one tip, I'll give you an example. So if you keep working when you're feeling tired, you're telling yourself that you're not worth easy. Okay? I'm not worth easy. And there's a thing around distrust. There might be a thing around distrust. If I slow down, then nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to receive that. I'm not going to be able to pay the bills if I slow down. Yeah, so Joanne says, I'm not supporting myself. I've been kind of depressed and tired. Yeah, it comes up for you. Tell me if this is where it comes up. I'm picking it up on, what side is this? This is my left, your right side. Is it right ear and face? Maybe some male energy going on, not being heard. I've not been supporting myself, depressed and tired. I've been off since 10th. Yes. Okay. So that's the thing. What are you doing? That's it. So neck. Yeah, that's where I'm getting it. It's the right side going all the way down to, I'll show you where I feel it. Like this is going to be your right side actually. So, cause the thing is switched. So it's like all down here, all going to the neck into the shoulder. When I always get neck to shoulder, I always think about over responsibility. Like it's especially upper back, neck, not being supported, resentment, even on this side of the face, like not being heard, you know? So like when we're not going into our pain. So that's what I would do. If it was you, I would make everyone else second. I would make everyone else second. I would put yourself first and your emotional state first. I would, because if you want easy and you want support, you got to give yourself it. So whether it's like, yeah, you fell on ice too, right? So, but I think what I'm picking up is emotional here. I know you fell on the ice too. See, I think the universe keeps trying to slow you down. So it's like, I think what will happen, because every single time you keep working, it's going to keep nailing you with more and more bills. So if you want to stop the bills from coming, you got to take care of yourself first. I would book coach. So this is your homework. How can you support yourself? How can you support yourself right now? So I'll give an example of what I'm doing. Moving forward, I get coaching once a week. The other thing I do is I start leaning on friends and all these things. So I lean on you a lot, but maybe it's about reaching out and asking, the opposite for, maybe it's asking for support from me or from other people in your life. So maybe asking and breaking down. Oh, I love you, Joanne. You're amazing. You're worth receiving. You give to everyone else, but you rarely take. So I'm going to go on, but I would look at Joe's, this is your homework, and I'm going to ask you, I'm going to hold you accountable. Where can you give to yourself? What do you need? You rarely receive, even if it's like, hey, raising your prices and saying, hey, listen, I would like reach out to friends, break down in front of friends, cry in front of friends, ask for support, maybe find something in your life that makes it easier. Maybe it's getting more support from your partner. Maybe it's getting your partner to clean the house. Maybe it's hiring a cleaning lady, because we think, I don't have the money, I can't pay for any support or get any support, but this is the very belief that keeps all the bills coming. The minute you pay for support, this is what I found in my thing. The minute I started to pay for support, even when I didn't have, felt like tight, boom, then the money would come the next day. It was weird. It would just show up. And all this staying in this sacrificing space and scarcity place was keeping me stuck. Okay? I love you. You're amazing. But today you really need to be heard. You need to have a good cry. Okay? You need to have a good cry. I love you. Okay, who else? Oh yeah, Esther. I'm going to manifest a great guy for a great. Okay, instead of a great guy, don't use the term a great guy. It's very vague. You know, you got to use some descriptive. Great doesn't make you feel, when you say that, doesn't make you feel lit up. If you say you want to be specific, maybe an emotionally aware man, maybe a tender, maybe a masculine, feminine man. I don't know, something more specific. I am feeling calm, stable, heard, loved, emotionally stable, comfortable. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you feel like, why do you want the relationship, Esther? How do you want to feel? Is that how you want to feel from the relationship? You want to feel calm, stable, heard, loved, emotionally stable, and comfortable. Okay, so if that's how you want to feel from the relationship, hold on. Then that's what you got to give to yourself in the moment. That's where you're going to start to do it. And it's either you're going to give it to yourself or you're going to get someone else to give it to you. Okay? Because you can't always just give everything to yourself. Like, especially if as a child you wanted your parents to give something to you. It takes two to tango. You might need to get it from a friend. You might need to get it from more people. So for example, hold on, I'm just seeing what you're writing here. Okay, yeah. So if you want to feel calm, emotionally stable, all these things, that's what you want to start. And loved is, so for example, when you feel unloved, the opposite, it'd be like looking at yourself, where can I get love? Now, who can I get love from? So tell me, when you feel sad, do you reach out to all your friends or do you isolate? Tell me what that is for you. I'm just thinking here too. Comfortable. Okay. Comfortable. Comfortable is an interesting word too. My support system. Okay, so that's good. Now, when you want love, you reach out all the time. Okay, that's amazing. So that's what you want to keep doing, is you want to keep filling your life with this love, that every single time that you feel unloved, you start to give yourself that love. And you're going to give it to yourself, and then you're going to get it from your friends. Okay, so your life starts to feel full. The same thing with feeling comfortable. When I think about feeling comfortable, I think of feeling comfortable in my own skin. So that means like embracing those sides of yourself that you judge. So for you, it'd be like, what sides of yourself do you judge? That you don't let yourself be as much of. You'll have to tell me what you think. So for example, if, yes, in my own skin, in my own environment. So this is really important when you date, okay? Because every single person out there, they want to show their worst almost. It's almost, they want someone to accept them for their worst. That makes them feel at home. You know, when you can be fully your weirdo self. So Esther says, my body, my lack of certain things in my life. Be more specific, my lack of certain things in my life. Like you're not far enough ahead, or tell me about that. So for the first thing with your body, that's what you want. That's going to be your homework, is starting to love your succulent self. And it's first, you're not going to want to do it with positive affirmations. You're going to have to go into the pain, So for you, when you think about that, it'd be like, oh, how do you feel about your body? What does it make you feel like? Relationship with my son, yes. Struggle financially. Okay. So say these are the feelings. So first of all, you want to go into those feelings. So with your body, you'd want to go into the feeling with your body and start to acknowledge that pain, that judgment with your body, like with inner child work, like, sweetheart, like, see where that judgment came from and start to grieve the loss of, sad, don't embrace it, don't deserve health. Exactly. So people don't want to embrace their bodies when they hate their bodies. So the best place to do is being okay with not embracing your body. Like it's like saying to yourself, like, oh, just acknowledging, sweetheart, I'm so sorry you feel so unattractive. I'm so sorry you feel so not you. Like people always say it's not me, but it is you, because you're all of that. You're beautiful. And it's like, I think at times in our life we are taught that we are our bodies, that we get judged for this. We get judged for being unattractive or, not pretty enough or all these things. And we need to just hold space and say, sweetheart, like, I'm so sorry. People judged you and projected their views onto you. I'm so sorry that people judged you and projected their negative beliefs about themselves onto you. It's really what it is in our culture. If someone calls you fat or whatever, it's because they think that that's not okay in their own, with themselves. So it'd be like, I'm so sorry that you never felt enough. You just seem to attract lust. So if you attract lust somewhere in your life, here's the thing, okay. Okay, this is funny. Okay, I'm gonna, this is gonna be funny. But here's the thing with lust. If you attract lust, then there was probably an incident when you were younger around objectifying. Someone objectifying you, someone sexualizing you, something along that line. I hope that makes sense. So it's figuring out, going back to that memory when that happened and figuring out what you needed to hear, what you needed to say. The second thing is, oftentimes, we have this thing with our body. We want to feel attractive. We get obsessed with looking good. And guess who we attract? We attract men that only care about our body. That lust. Because that's the way we're thinking. It's like if we would listen to our thoughts in our head, we'd say, oh my God, look at you. You're so unattractive. No one's ever going to be interested in you. You need to lose weight. You need to sexify yourself. And then who do you get? You get men that are saying the same exact thing. They're saying, oh yeah. They're just all about your body. Just all into the body. They're not into seeing you as a person, because you're not seeing you. You're not seeing you. It's like, so for example, do you get that, honey? All these women, this Beyonce movement, we have gone so far from the liberation movement, when women could vote. It is insane. Back then, it was empowerment. Now, it's just women sexifying them, like objectifying themselves. And then they complain that I'm not saying, I'm just like complain that men are just interested in that. But it's because, I'm not saying you can't be sexy and whatever, but there's a difference between, there's this different energy when you're objectifying yourself. Okay? I used to do it all the time. Like beyond, like it's like all this, like just promoting, just seeing this side of you as what's attractive. It's like, you know, I always say, do you really want a partner that values you for that? That's the question. Do you really want a partner that values just that or judges you for that? Because if that's what you're putting out, that's what you're going to get. And so it's like this. I always said, like, oh my God, I would love it if I had, yeah, no. I would love it if I had a partner that I was like, hey, baby, you know, hey, I just ate like 2 cheeseburgers today. Oh my God, you need to come over and get on this shit. That's what you want. Guys don't, first of all, they're not sleeping with you because you're just so, like, a nice guy isn't just sleeping with you because you're hot. It's because your energy fucking rocks. People are more attracted to the energy. You could be succulent and be like, boy, like, you want some of this? And it's the energy. But you could be really hot and super attractive and super bitchy and like insecure and you never give and you're in the bedroom and you're not confident and you're like, oh, like, you know, you don't have, you're like, okay, it's not fun. It's not playful. People are attracted to the confidence. They're like, you know, what did Esther say? I've had it both ways. A husband who made me feel self-loathing and other partners, yes, that have been addicted to me. Interesting. And even addicted to you sometimes can be still too sexualized sometimes. I don't know if that's what you mean by that, but sometimes it's finding a partner that sees you and loves you, and if you're giving them sex, they still love you, and you know what I mean? If you're not giving them sex, they still love you. And if you gain a little weight, they still love you. And they're not like, peace out, or like, you should hit up the gym. Okay, so I'm going to keep going because we've kind of got off track. But so I would start to see yourself, Esther, and give yourself that same love that you would want a guy to give you. Okay, so start to look at, if you're feeling bad about your body, what would a guy say? What would your ideal man say to you? That's what you want to start saying to yourself, okay? So these would be your action steps. Okay, lastly, before we end this call, so I just want to say too, for anyone that's on this call so far, I love you guys. Thank you so much for participating. It's been super, super fun. What was I going to say? If at any time, if you're wanting change and you want a super sexy 2021, jump on a call with me on the link. There's a breakthrough call link, and I always get on calls with people that want change. They're done. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they are ready. And you're not going to get change in an hour. So this call is, you know, it's free, but it is designed for people that want to invest or are willing to invest or take the plunge and work together. Okay, let's keep going on. Last thing. So this is why people always say, when you get a goal, it's good. You get this goal, but then you gotta let it go. You gotta detach from the goal. The reason people say that, and this is kind of like people not understanding, this is what I'm talking about, not understanding the law of attraction, is they just said, oh, just detach from the goal. That is the stupidest thing. And I'm going to explain why. Is because the reason you have the goal, okay? Because people can even use goals. Okay, I'm going to explain this. The reason you have the goal is because you have a feeling in your body and you have a need right now. You have a feeling and you have a need right now. That means you got to get that need met now, okay? So you can't just let it go. You can't just let go of the goal, because that's the solution to your thing. Your body's never going to just be like, oh, okay, I'm okay with what I got. No, you got to figure out how to give yourself what you need right now. Okay? You got to figure out how to nurture those feelings, how to give yourself what you need in the moment. For so long, addiction. Let's talk about addiction. When people get feelings in their body, one of the biggest forms of addictions is goals. Because what happens is, okay, so people, I'm just gonna mess up my hair a little bit. People feel sad and they feel depressed. And then they, instead of feeling sad and depressed, they go, oh, I need a partner. Say, oh, I need to lose weight. So something, there's a trigger in their life. It makes them feel unattractive or fat, whatever. And they go, oh, I need to lose weight. Okay, here's the problem. It's a spiritual bypass. Okay, the goal is the spiritual bypass, because it's like, oh, then they get all impulsive and they try to go on a diet and they try to go on this. But what they're doing in that very moment, you're abandoning yourself. You didn't go into the feeling and feel the feeling. Feel the feeling of pain of being unattractive. Feel the feeling of loneliness. Feel the feeling of sadness. Okay? So it is so important that you do not spiritually bypass yourself with goals. Okay? That you whenever you start to set a goal, you actually tune in your body and you say, what the heck is this all about? Okay? What the heck is this all about? I realized even over the holiday, I was feeling tired and exhausted and lonely. And so my brothers came over and they had their girlfriends here, and I started feeling like I need a partner. But I actually don't feel like I need a partner. And but it was just because why I was like, oh, if I had a partner, I'd get support. I'd be supported. But that's a joke, because sometimes you could have a partner and feel totally unsupported. So that's even worse, is when you actually have a partner and you realize, oh my God, I still feel unsupported. Which happens, you just talk to all the married women out there, which happens a lot of the time. Okay, so really, that's really important. That is, I started to tune in and be like, okay, what do I need? I need support now. I don't need a partner. I need support now. Okay, I need connection now. I need to reach out to all my friends and, get love. Okay, so when you just say let it go, that's a bit of bogus, because your mind, your soul is not going to be okay with not getting its needs met. You can't just let go all the time. It's just not always going to work. What else? Okay, last thing for anyone on the call. This is a long call. Let's see here. So what must die in order for the new to be born? Okay, so for example, whatever you're trying to get in the moment, you're trying to support yourself, you're trying to get ease, you're maybe feel loved, ask for help, maybe embrace, what did Esther say? Embrace your body, okay? What must die in order for that to happen? Okay? What must die? What beliefs must die? What thoughts must die? What actions must die in order for the new to be born? Okay, for example, this will be the last thing, and then I'm going to leave you guys to try to take those steps. So what must die? So for example, with weight loss, we'll just use this as an example today. What must die in order for the new to be born? So for me, when I realized that I was hating myself every single day, that hating myself was keeping the weight on. That my intention, I started to realize that I needed to love myself. I wanted to feel accepted and loved. So what needed to die? All the diets, all the dieting, all the depriving, all the guilting and shaming myself. That had to die. It was really crystal clear. Like every time I started to get hard on my body, I would tell my thoughts, thank you for sharing. I'm not listening to you. And every single time I had a feeling, I would go into the feeling and I would nurture that feeling. So that guilt, that, that's what had to die. The guilt, the deprivation, the action would be like binging or depriving, all these things. Okay? Another thing, so if you want support, that's what you're trying to create. What must die in order for the new to be born? Okay, so for me, for many people in my program, what must die? Feeling like a burden. Feeling like a burden when you ask for support. That has to die. That has to fucking die. Go set that bitch on fire. Okay? Because if you feel like a burden and you feel not worthy of asking, you're never going to receive. Like feeling like you're not worth a burden, feeling like people will judge you, feeling like, my brother is the master. Every single time someone gives to him, he thinks he's giving to them. He's like, oh, I'm gifting people with the opportunity to give to me. Like when he traveled, hiked Canada to Mexico, he was like, oh, I'm bringing joy to people's days by letting them give to me. This is my brother's views. And because of this, my brother, he was the fourth child. So he was always the child that received more love. And everything in his life is like that. He got a job with the CBC. It was easy. He just came back from traveling 6 months and just got a job like that. He always gets time off at work. He gets promoted. He just always, because he feels so worthy of receiving. And he understands, this is the thing, what must die, and feeling like you're going to be judged, not understanding that you being needy creates connection, creates that connection that you're starving for. This belief that you have to be strong, that you have to have it together to have connection, or that you have to give, you have to please to get connection or to be approved of. That's what has to die. The people pleasing, the giving, this giving, generous self has to die. You have to embrace your selfish self. That's the important thing. That's what has to be born. That's a gift to other people, that even your selfish self is a gift. You allow other people to support you. I think constantly, Joanne, that I don't support you enough. I always need to step up. So it's really, here's another one. So if you, for example, if you're trying to attract a partner, a good emotionally available partner, okay? What must die in order for the new to be born? Let's look at this. Okay, you want an emotionally available partner? You got to be emotionally available to yourself. Every single time you feel sad, you got to go in. Okay, what must die? So if you're not good at that, what must die is putting yourself second. What must die is busying your emotions away. What must die is not trusting that doing the inner work will attract a partner. What must die is thinking you don't deserve easy. What must die is thinking you're not worth the effort. you know? Thinking you're not worth the effort, that's when people give too much. They just give, 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 give. So you wanna tell the universe, I'm worth the effort. I'm worth support. Let people support you. Okay? I love you guys. You are amazing. I am so... Joanne says, are you kidding me? I feel you are the second most supportive person in my life. Oh my God. I feel like I never do enough. I don't know with you. My thing is always since Tanner is supporting people with my time just for the heck of it. But I just don't have as much time as I used to. So that always makes me feel a little sad that I can't do that anymore, is just be there for people like on a weekend. I just don't have any time anymore. So that always makes me feel a little bit like I'm not as supportive. But I love you guys. See, I have my work to do. Joanne, Esther, everybody else on the call, I wanted to just say I'm so proud of everyone. You're doing incredible. This is all in divine timing, and keep at it. These things will come around. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna do maybe a numerology call this week, and we're gonna have some fun and play with that. For anyone that's wanting to, as I said before, my team, my coaches, this is the work we do. If you want to commit to making change in your life, Rosa, I love you. Invest in yourself. Commit to yourself. This is why I very rarely work with people now, just like one-off, because I want people to commit to themselves over a long period of time to get change. You can't do it when you just do one session. So book a call with me if you're really interested. For anyone that wants change, I'm losing my voice. And we can figure out where you're stuck and what steps you need to get there. I love you guys. Yes, Rosa, book a call with me this week. I think we got to, anybody that's in the program too, book a call with me if you need to this week, because I'm getting really selfish and I'm booking time off in my schedule. No, but schedule in sooner than later. I love you guys. You're awesome so much. Such a pleasure. I'm committed to my growth. You are. We're going to figure out your house thing, Rosa. So your last thing, Rosa, for your house, if you should move, what's the feeling you want to get around moving? That's your homework. Excuse me. What's the feeling you want to get from moving? Okay. And what is this current situation making you feel like now? I love you guys. I'm going to go and have fun and play. Have an amazing day. You guys are amazing. I love you. Bye, everyone. Big love.